This is a line in Johnson County for the COVID-19 shots. Try not to run over anybody. That would suck to be killed on your way to trying to get a life-saving shot. And the line goes all the way around. We just came from the most amazing museum. The Johnson County Museum. People are medical workers or elderly or something. I'm not in any of those categories, so I wasn't able to get the shot. It's not exclusive. They only have so many to go around. You know, again, the rollout, they're saying that the rollout was botched because the weak leadership in Washington. Maybe.
Just feel bad that you were in line and you didn't get it.
I should have gone in the museum while you were in line. That's what I was thinking. The Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center. It's like a big activity center. In the former AMF bowling alley and ice chateau ice skating rink. Well, I think I understand why that lady was so impatient. Well, I don't understand. That lady in that beat up Honda that was like ready to run over everybody and blocking everybody and trying to get around everything because she was right in front of us because she was trying to get out. She'd already, and I'm like, you know, this is a two lane deal. You can use both lanes. Just don't run over anybody. Uh-oh, Popo is pulling. Are they pulling him over?
No. Oh yeah?
No, they're going around. And they're coming in here? No.
Hi, Bobby.
Why are you shaking, Jiminy?
Hi, Bobby. He's not shaking.
You ain't shaking. Why are you shaking? Why are you nervous? You don't like the sound of police cars?
Just worried why taking us so long. Too long for my baby to wait. Too long for my baby to wait.
So how's your arm feel?
It's a little sore,
You feel like you're bulletproof from the beer flu now?
The first thing maybe was we were so tense. Remember?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't tense. No, that's
Can you get the shortest knot to work on?
No, let's go the long way.
It's almost 1 o'clock. Casey's already there.
Mm-hmm.
He's already done. They're probably wondering why you're taking so long.
Jimmy the owl. See, I didn't get a shot today. My arm was hurting like a.
Did you take
Yeah, I did. My anti-inflammatory. Got a flu shot in October.
Well, how about I am your guinea pig if this is gonna get sore,
Yeah.
there must be something wrong with us.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Like
What was-
when did we get our flu shot? It was like October 20th, I think. And our arms have been so sore since that time. I mean, really sore. Like if you move the wrong way, intense shooting pain. It's moved into my shoulder. Can't move my arm in certain ways. I'm like Darth Vader who had limited mobility with his arms. Nerd reference.
So they can't even go up to. What are you gonna get coffee?
Yeah, I think I need to work on my box.
I think. What about going? Right, Dongos? Hello, Dongos. Out of the business. It's Overland Photo Supply that's still in business and that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. That is
Bobby. Even
wife's enemy number 2.
wasn't I thought that thing was
Whitehaven,
Honey
Whitehaven Estates,
Big Ham, honey over there. Was it there or no?
and Whitehaven was up here on this corner, I think.
Come on.
Who? Us? An all electric house anywhere, and I wouldn't want an all electric house.
Bumpy. Where's Bella? Bella? There was a house that we looked here that was just right by the road.
Not here.
No, not here.
I think you're thinking of the Knoll house. That house that was in really bad shape.
The staircase was winding like we could barely fit a table to carry upstairs.
I think Whitehaven was right in here.
Two dogs and a cat. Ooh, there are 2 dogs and a cat, maybe.
Lots of impatient people around today.
Careful. Be careful, Bobby. Be careful.
We got to go to Scrawny Mission Parkway.
Bobby, Bob, Bum, Bobby.
Hot dog.
Did they ask you what your job is? Position?
No.
What did the lady say?
She said,
Was she nice?
yeah, she was nice.
What she said?
She looked at it. She said, media. I'm not sure we do media. And let me go ask. And she went in and asked. And then she came out and she said, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, well, I expected it. Actually, this other person I'm with forced me to do this. And I didn't think it would work anyway. And she
So
thought it
that-
was funny.
Why would you not let media have it, honey? It's in the
This-
front line.
It's not necessarily essential.
Media is not essential?
Not necessarily.
Then why do you guys go to work?
It's not in one of their categories. Let's just put it that way. You know, they're only doing medical, people over 65, you know, first responders like ambulance, firefighters, police.
Police.
But they don't include media in that because, you know, media really has ways of, let's just say that we're not supposed to put ourselves in danger, and we have
a choice.
safety protocols in place.
Has your workplace have said anything about? I mean, I would expect your TV station might be proactive compared to Channel 4.
Yeah, they are, and they're monitoring it. And they said, well, you know, we're waiting for word to come down from the state. You know, they're working on acquiring, I think, the shots as a company and as
Yeah. Scripps company.
yeah, and as the station. But it's just not available yet. And you know, we're hearing people talk about a botched rollout.
What's a
That-
botched?
Botch, you know, as in screwed up. They're gonna drop the term Operation Warp Speed because it's become a political liability to use that phrase because
Stephen Colbert got his vaccine.
probably through his company. And like I say, you get your shot, and that actually helps protect the whole family a little bit because, you know, helps build up herd immunity. As they say, not everybody has to get the shot for it to work.
Here you are. You're always out and about. Trying to do your job.
Yeah, but I'm safe. I'm safe
How?
because I always wear my mask, I always keep my distance, and I always put the stuff on my hands, and I wash my hands, and you know, our biggest liability is still if some adults throw a party, and you know, we're not hanging out with those adults anymore. You know, the ones that are the most dangerous in our lives, the people that are always throwing Chiefs parties, and they think they're safe because they're all related to each other, and like, well, then they come in, they talk about how they've been to the bars and drinking beer and everything and hanging out with people, and yeah, really safe. So we're not hanging out with them anymore, and
Yeah, but I'm exposed at work because my coworkers are doing it.
yeah. Fortunately, I'm not. I'm really not exposed to my work. I work in a cave.
Can I change my names? You want this?
No.
Why? Dr. Bishop made this for us. Not Dr. Bishop. Yes.
You know, it's actually really criminal what has been going on. And should be locked up for it. Far more worse than emails or anything like that, which they also did too. say there's going to be 500,000 deaths by February. We keep this up, the number of deaths of people will be higher than the number of all American servicemen who died in wars,
Well, I'm
which
just
is
worried
close
because
to...
you're high risk because you're prone to pneumonia. You are a walking type of pneumonia.
Well,
Please take your pills religiously. That's why I should have asked. You should have asked note from Dr. Bergen.
yeah, but it's not going to work either.
Why?
We don't fit the requirements.
But you're high risk. Remember?
We don't fit the requirements. The last requirement that convinced me was you must live. Do either of those things. His former Strouds.
We are in Johnson County, Westwood.
Westwood is in Johnson County. You are just over the line. You are not in KCK. You're a Westwood address. Actually, you're right in the corner. County is Midwest Transplant Network, Missouri. And I'm happy that they're not being militant about it. You know, like, you're trying to sneak in, cut in line.
Tried it. I could have put laboratory on your
No.
badge. How about that?
No.
What do you mean no?
No, I'm not going to be dishonest. And you know, the funny thing is,
That's why I said I could
the
have
funny
put
thing is
laboratory.
that here about this kind of thing, and then it's disgusting that there are people cutting in line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, politicians and rich people are getting their shots first, you know, as always.
I don't know. Sometimes being good is a very disadvantaged
Well,
act, but
you know, they should make it part of the law that if you make over $150,000, you're not eligible unless you fit one of the requirements. And we're going to inoculate the poor people first, because the poor people are more at risk. The
Right.
poor people are the ones who have to do the jobs that are at risk. They're the waiters, the waitresses, they're driving the Ubers, they are the taxi drivers.
so the waiters and waitresses are not part
And
of
you know,
this.
wealthy people can isolate themselves much more easier, so why are they cutting in line?
So my question is, even the waiters.
No, they're not a protected.
They're not qualified
No.
for that vaccine.
No, it's only first responders, medical, and people over 65.
Is that official?
No.
Putting the seal there.
That's a Marine, and I don't know what the other seal is. Looks like almost the presidential seal.
Oh, MTN is not gonna be. It's gonna turn into a big hospital go-to now. They're already constructing the second floor, renovating it. They're
Mhm.
building an operating room now. Freaking people are very
Mm. Oh, I should have turned up there. Oops.
Oh, you're making me more late, honey.
Sorry.
He's just gonna say, well, you're in the clock, and what time should I put it here? I don't know. Figure it out. Oh, that's a nice house.
It's a very modern house. this direction.
Hmm?
Go at it from this direction. Oh, yeah, I see the park.
Park.
If they ask, you just tell them that you were told to hang out for a little bit and for observation.
Not really, because Casey was just there.
Well, but
Everybody already
just
had.
because they don't follow the directions doesn't mean. I mean, tell them. I was told to wait. That's when I told them that I had a problem with the previous shot. They said, "Well, why don't you hang out for a little bit and see if it starts getting really sore?" And then,
Really? I mean, no stalling, telling lies now, huh?
no, that's true. It's not a lie. Look at that house. That's interesting. Well, no, they didn't tell you that, but you thought it would be a good idea to just hang out for a little bit, make sure you weren't going to have a bad reaction.
So did James sell his house, or is it still rented?
It's a rental, I think. That's what we could do. You know, if push came to shove and there's an opportunity somewhere, we could rent our house. We'd do it through an agency, like Kim Burns did, and like James is doing.
James is doing it that way too.
Well, actually, his agency is a crazy Russian lady he met through his dad, but she's essentially an agency. And that way, if
That should be what Taba should do to her condo.
possibly, but she may have one of those, since it's a condo, letting clauses.
She lives here. One of these places here.
Oh,
With a condo up there, I don't know. But, you know, it's a walking distance from here. She just thinks that Kansas City is not for her. She is paying. What the?
Mm.
Okay.
Another country heard from.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm beginning to wonder if Kansas City is for us.
I know. I'm wondering too. All right, I love you.
All right,
love you,
love you.
Dongos. See you later, Dongos. All right, honey. Get something to eat and get some sleep. You're picking me up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll leave that here.
Jimothy. There's the doggies. cut through Westport, the oldest part of Kansas City. Westport was founded in 1840s. Yeah, maybe sooner than that. Because I know Kansas City was founded in 1853, I think. 1850, maybe. Because the civic leaders of Westport, the rich merchants, decided they wanted to bypass Independence and cut a day of travel off of people wanting to hit the Santa Fe Trail and at the time the Oregon Trail. I think those were all established. Westport was the major outfitting, and so was Independence. So the goal was to have a road to go up to the river, the Missouri River, and meet the riverboats, and then the people would take a carriage ride or a wagon ride south, stagecoach ride maybe, south into Westport, and then they could get outfitted here in Westport for their long journey west. And when they created that pier, that quay, so what you would call like a wharf, a name for a wharf, quay, Q-U-A-Y, but it's pronounced quay. It's spelled quay, but it's pronounced quay. They decided, like shops and inns started sprouting up there. And so they decided the name of the town would be called the City of Kansas, named after, joined with the Missouri River real close there. You got to be careful at this intersection. I got hit by a car in this crosswalk right here. The city thought it'd be a great idea to take out the traffic light there. I don't think it was such a great idea. I might be biased. And this is the heart of Westport, downtown Westport. This used to be a town at one time. And then it was surrounded by the city of Kansas City in the 1880s, and became a part of Kansas City. The town that this town founded outgrew and surrounded this town and overtook it. And when we came here in the 1970s, Kansas City was not as nice a place to live back then as it is now. Kansas City has come a long way. There were a lot of rundown slums everywhere, places that were just iffy. And but the good thing was that you could buy real estate really cheap around here. That's not true anymore, by far. Matter of fact, we moved to Kansas City in 1978, and I remember as a kid, downtown was a roll 'em and lock 'em district. At night, especially on the west side, around the Quality Hill area, it was really slummy. A lot of drug addicts hanging out on the corners, and alcoholics and homeless and ne'er-do-wells and all sorts of things that made you just feel uncomfortable. And my parents my mom worked downtown Federal Building, and she parked at a pay lot, which was an outer lot, and walked into work a couple of blocks. It was notoriously cheap. But she stopped doing that because not long after she started working there, the battery was taken out of her car. But it wasn't taken out nicely. It was like the hood was popped open and they cut it out. So you had to replace the wires, which was a pain in the butt, because they just went and cut the wires and ripped the battery out. So that happened. The 1 month had to fix that. Then the next month it happened again. And so my mom decided, and for the rest of her career working at the Federal Building, probably 20, 30 years, because she retired in the 1990s. No, she retired in the early 2000s, I think. But for the rest of that time, she rode the bus. And I remember vast parts of Main Street was the same. It was pretty nasty around here. It still is in some places. But yeah, it is amazing. There's an area they kind of flattened and turned into a Home Depot and a Costco up here on the corner, and it was under a city councilman named Glover. I can't remember his first name, and they called it the Glover Plan. That's how I remember his last name. This whole corner up here, this whole development, and unfortunately, there was one business here I wish they had preserved. It was a bar that was very Milton's Bar, where they had jazz. They took that out, but they also took out this kind of, I can't turn right here. Thanks. I don't need to turn right here. I probably can't turn right up there either. All this road destruction going on. Major project. But Milton's, and then there was this, this other place still exists. It's called Notorious. It started out as an arcade, but then it became another type of arcade, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, the type of arcade where you paid money, and I don't know if it was real women behind glass that you paid money to see them gyrate in front of you with no clothes on, or if it was, but let's say Ray's Playpen is I've never been in there. Ray's Playpen is an adult store, adult boutique. You can see me do the air quotes there. Oh, yes, that's the KCTV5 tower. They call it, they've nicknamed it the Eiffel Tower, which is a play on the fact that Channel 5 is CBS affiliate whose symbol is an eye. So it's like Eiffel. But some of the residents here call it the Awful Tower because whenever we have ice storms, it drops ice all over the place and tries to murder people with the ice spears. They have to shut down these blocks here. And the building at the base of it is the old Kcmo, which they moved out of, I don't know, maybe in the 70s, 80s, and moved into their facility in Fairway, Kansas, which is probably about 3 miles west of here, 5 miles west of here. And the present occupant of the TV station is KCPT, which is Channel 19. It's Kansas City Public Television, PBS. I see you have Route 66 shield on your. I've been up and down the route several times. I love Route 66. I also love the auto trails. There's quite a few of them that come around here. And we just came, actually we were coming from my wife's COVID-19 shot, and it was in the Johnson County Heritage Center, and they have the most amazing museum. It's one of the best I've seen of its type. They actually have, there's a couple of centerpiece items in the museum. One is the all-electric house, which is an actual ranch house that they moved in there, and you can walk through it in a tour, and it's like step back into the, it's complete with that 1955 Chevy Bel Air out front of it, and that's inside the actual building. And then they have this old Googie sign that was a landmark on Metcalf forever, the Whitehaven Motor Lodge. And I have to point out in these times that Whitehaven is not a reference to anything racial. Whitehaven was it was the owners of the Motor Lodge was the White family, and they developed a neighborhood and built their motel there, and it was painted white. And it was a beautiful structure that has been torn down. There's a car trying to get around me here as I'm trying to park here at the coffee house. It may have been torn down in 2016. And it was a real shame when they tore it down. They tore it down. Now I think they're building loft apartments. What else there? But it also was kind of like this old motel with a pool in the middle. It was built in a U shape, kind of formed a court, and a total throwback to the 1950s in itself, and we complete with this wonderful sign. So look up Johnson County, what's it called? Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center on the internet, and look at the pictures, if they have it, of the museum they have in there. It is tremendous. And it's just, I went in there, we were going to go in there for like 10 minutes while my wife was like trying to make sure that her arm wasn't going to fall off. And, and we just paid the $6. It was like $12 for both of us. Because, I'm tired of I know about this place. I've been by here. I'm tired of being by here. I'm here. I want to go in now. And so we went in, and it was just too much. It was a lot in there. So I'm going to go in and get some coffee. And I'm going to edit my video that I shot in the museum with my little Osmo pocket camera, and that'll be online probably in the next hour. So, woohoo! Thanks for watching.